My buddy said, if a girl can't be loyal, just move on. I believed him. My first girlfriend always had some guy best friend glued to her side, so I dumped her. My second girlfriend basically lived in bars, and her phone was full of pics of male models' abs, so I bailed. The third one was even worse. She still had some old flame she couldn't let go of, and she was half checked out even on dates. No way I was putting up with that. But after I went through 999 girlfriends, my buddy kicked my door open. He yelled, "Why do you keep switching without ending things first? The whole point of moving on is breaking up first. What are you doing? Collecting them like stamps?" I froze. Breaking up? What do you mean? Breaking up, dude! I'm a pretty innocent guy, and that innocence comes from my family. Both my parents are serious researchers, and they raised me the same way they handle lab data. After I got my college acceptance letter, my mom said I could meet girls in college, but not at the expense of my grades. I took that like an order and started studying how to interact with girls. My buddy gave me a crash course, and I came up with 2 rules. 1, don't try to change the other person. 2, if you're not happy, move on. The theory was solid. All I needed was field practice. Then at the freshman orientation, I met my first girlfriend. Her name was Wen Xiaoting, and she was giving a speech as an outstanding upperclassman. Every guy in the room was staring. She really was beautiful, and her voice was nice too. But my focus was a little different from everyone else's. While everyone else was blown away by how pretty she was, I was listening closely to her speech and thinking a lot of it wasn't very rigorous. Maybe that difference is what caught her attention. After the event, she walked straight up to me. She reached out her hand and said, "Hey freshman, I'm Wen Xiaoting. I noticed you were listening really closely up there and you kept frowning. Do you have a different take on what I said?" I froze for a second. I didn't expect to get called out. Looking at that pale, slender hand in front of me, I awkwardly shook it and answered honestly. The uniform motion example is classic, but using the mean value theorem would be more direct and more insightful. She paused, then burst out laughing and asked for my WeChat. Just like that, I got the campus goddess senior's attention. After that, she kept showing up in my life and became my study partner. About a month after we met, one night we were leaving the library together. She asked softly, "Gujing, I feel really comfortable around you. Do you want to give us a try?" I looked at her side profile in the moonlight, thought back on how efficient and smooth things had been between us, decided this sample scored great across the board, and nodded. I thought that was what dating was supposed to be like being great lab partners, clear roles, same goals, with a little warmth mixed in. Then her guy best friend showed up. It was our first real movie date. Wen Xiaoting went to pick up the tickets, and I was waiting in the lounge with popcorn and drinks. Some guy plopped down in the empty seat next to me. "Hey, you're Gujing, right? Xiaoting talks about you all the time. Says you're some super serious top student." He flashed a big white grin and he smelled like sweat mixed with sporty cologne. "I'm Yu Lei, Xiaoting's ride or die. We've been close forever. Didn't think she'd go for your type." Before I could even respond, Wen Xiaoting came back. When she saw Yu Lei, she wasn't surprised at all. She just said, "What are you doing here? Weren't you at practice today?" Yu Lei casually threw an arm around Wen Xiaoting's shoulders. "Ended early. Heard you guys were seeing a movie, so I came to tag along. You don't mind, right, bro? Relax. Xiaoting and I are just normal friends. Basically siblings. Don't overthink it." Wen Xiaoting laughed and brushed his hand off, but she didn't look annoyed at all. Then she turned to me and said casually, "Gujing's super reasonable. He wouldn't care about this stuff, right?" I forced a smile and nodded. But in my head, I remembered He Qiang's dating theory. He Qiang said things like putting an arm around someone or holding hands are things you only do with your girlfriend. They're signs of exclusivity. So what exactly was this? If they were really just like siblings, where was the line? And what did that make me? The boyfriend. I barely paid attention to the movie. Yu Lei sat on Wen Xiaoting's other side, and the two of them kept whispering about the plot. That was the moment a little discomfort started growing in me, and that formula from my notebook, "If you're not happy, move on," popped back into my head. But what really made up my mind happened a month later. She said life needed a sense of occasion, so we went to an amusement park for our 1-month anniversary. I had no objection. Honestly, I was kind of looking forward to it. We had a great time that day, and I even started thinking the movie incident was just a one-off. Then night fell, the lights came on, and we ended up under a huge Ferris wheel. It turned slowly, every cabin glowing like a warm little star. Wen Xiaoting looked up at it, eyes shining, and said softly, "They say if you kiss at the very top and make a wish, it comes true. You should make a wish later." Looking at her bright, hopeful eyes, that little bit of resentment inside me almost melted away. Right when I bought the tickets, carefully holding the two of them in my hand, and turned to walk back to Wen Xiaoting, that familiar figure popped up beside her like he'd risen straight out of the ground. He didn't look like he'd rushed over. It looked more like he'd been lurking nearby the whole time. "Xiaoting, wow, what a coincidence! You're here too?" Yu Lei sounded thrilled. He was wearing some trendy hoodie that day, and he'd even styled his hair with product. Under the lights, it had a noticeable shine. This was clearly not some random coincidence. He casually draped his hand over Wen Xiaoting's shoulder again, and this time he even ruffled her hair. Wen Xiaoting looked genuinely surprised at first, but it quickly turned into a helpless smile with a hint of happiness in it. "Yu Lei, why are you everywhere?" Yu Lei sighed and complained that he couldn't really hang out with girly girls, then said running into us under the Ferris wheel had to be fate. Under all those colorful lights, the two of them just kept chatting like no one else existed, while I stood a few steps away holding 2 tickets like some random bystander. After a while, Wen Xiaoting finally turned to me in this matter-of-fact tone and said, "Look, Yu Lei's here by himself too. Poor guy. Why don't we bring him along with us?" Yu Lei acted like he had only just noticed me and smacked his forehead dramatically. Then he leaned in and lowered his voice with this subtle little edge in it. "Xiaoting and I are just best friends. You're not jealous, are you?" I looked at him in silence and remembered Xiaoming's theory about disloyal women. I took a deep breath, forced the corners of my mouth up and said, I know you don't really get along with other guys, so sure, let's all hang out together. More lively that way. Yulei's smile froze. He obviously caught the sarcasm. But Wen Xiaoting didn't notice a thing. She just praised me for being so understanding. When it was time to board, Yulei grabbed Wen Xiaoting by the wrist and pulled her straight into the cabin. She half resisted, half went along with it, but didn't pull away. She only looked back and tossed out, "Gujing, don't be mad. I'll ride the next one with you." The cabin door closed and slowly lifted. I watched their silhouettes sitting close together inside while the colorful amusement park lights flickered across my face. Xiaoming's voice rang crystal clear in my head. "If a girl can't be loyal, replace her." I pulled out my phone. The screen lit up with a few messages from Wen Xiaoting trying to explain herself. I turned the screen off, didn't reply, and unilaterally cut off all contact. After that, I stopped taking her calls, stopped replying to her messages, and avoided her completely.